Hi everyone, welcome to Suzanne's Signature Success Show. Today we have the honor to welcome Suzanne Ellison. She is from England. Welcome, Suzanne.
Hello, Suzanne, and thank you for having me.
I'm blessed to have you here. Could you please introduce yourself?
So, I'm Suzanne Ellison, and I currently live in England. And the reason why I say that is I've had a very not unusual life, but slightly different to the average person. I've traveled a lot in growing up. I was very briefly born in Jamaica, and then lived in the States. Fortunate to live in the beautiful island of Hawaii. And then I moved to Asia, in Indonesia, and then Africa. Lived in Mozambique and Zambia, where I eventually met my future husband, and I went and lived there for the past 27 years. Not doing anything like I'm doing now. I got bored and started classical situation of starting a business in my kitchen where I got bored, so I started making ice cream. Can you believe I lived in Africa in a country that didn't really produce ice cream? So I thought I'd just give it a try, see where it goes. And it became a national brand of ice cream and 7 other dairy products. So, and in the process, I developed a dairy because I wanted to be self-sufficient. So I was actually a farming girl. Not that I'd grown up in farming, but I love animals. I am so passionate about animals and having animals and looking after them and just having them around me. But unfortunately, things in the long term, after 27 years, didn't work out so well. So I left my businesses, my home, my friends, my farm, and the continent. And I came over to England, where I sort of started, eventually having tried lots of different businesses, I got into therapy work, which had always been my passion, helping people, getting them to be in a better place in their lives, sorting out their emotional issues. And that's what I do now. I work with, that's how I came to do what I do now. I think it was my underlying passion, which I was able to develop once I came to England. And that's using energy healing to help people to deal with their emotional issues, a lot of which is based in the past, so that we can all have a happier and healthier life.
What a diverse and exciting story. Thank you for sharing with us. For me, it's important always the why. Could you please share with us your why?
Why I do what I do now? Yeah. Well, so everybody, when you say, oh, I lived in Africa, and yes, we had wildlife, and it was incredible. It was an amazing life, and it's an enviable life for many. And it's not that I didn't love my life there, but life is made up of lots of different components, isn't it? And I wasn't able to be who I wanted to be. I lived in a very small community, which sort of put pressure on you as a woman to be subservient to the husband, and you were expected to act and be in a certain way, and that just didn't fit with me. I've always sort of fought against conformity. And I ended up getting ill. I got an abscess on my kidney, which they didn't know what it was. And I ended up on an operating table. And when they opened me up, I was just full of septicemia and nearly died. But I didn't. I was fortunate enough to have amazing doctors. And I got through it. But what it did was it gave me a wake-up call, and it made me stop and think, why? Why does our body suddenly malfunction? Why? I mean, I was healthy. I was a personal trainer. I was, I ate well. I was active, and yet I got ill to the point where I nearly died. And so I started to research and look into it and find out what is what research is out there, what information was out there. And I learned about the power of our thoughts, and how when we're constantly negative, we create a toxic environment, and that is what, and I do believe, affects the health of our body, and our body then malfunctions. And I thought, well, if it's as simple as that, as just changing how you think, then that's so empowering. That is powerful. And how many people know that? We know it, but we don't apply it. And my thing is that nobody needs to be ill. It's not about genetics. That's been proven. It's how we relate to our environment. Lots of people get cancer or get illnesses later in life. You're not born with them. If you're not born with them, then even if you have the genetics, what triggers it? And you know what? If it is our thoughts, how much easier, how empowered would we be? More so if we became conscious and aware of the thoughts we have, and made ourselves accountable for our own health, because it's our thoughts and only we know what thoughts we think.
Great example.
Yeah.
You went through a lot of different and difficult circumstances. Could you please give us, to sum up everything, 3 success habits? Minimum, or you could be one.
3 success habits. I think to hold yourself accountable. We are individuals, and because of when we're born with our body. We're born as we are, and nobody says, hey, here's instructions on how to keep your body healthy. Maybe later on in life we try and do that, but then it's imagine if we had that information in the beginning. So it's about holding yourself accountable for your health and for the life that you create for yourself. And the third one, and for me, success, being aware of your thoughts, really. It all comes down, having a clean out of your beliefs, what your beliefs are, because what you believe affects what you think, which then affects the actions you take, because we're emotion driven. So, maybe have a clean out, because we have beliefs that we're born into an environment of beliefs because of our parents, our grandparents, society. And sometimes we don't even realize the beliefs that we hold. So I think that's a massive one for me that I've learned.
Great. And the beliefs are the values, I think, that create at the base. Could you share with us your core value?
My core values, my big one is integrity.
Wow.
Integrity, having integrity. Because if, at the end of the day, you can go out and say whatever you want to people, but if you're not in integrity, you're just kidding yourself, and you're not portraying who you really are. So integrity is a massive one. Being thoughtful, considerate of others, and transparency. To be transparent, to be, I won't say honest, because how people define honesty is we all have skeletons in the cupboard and things that we don't necessarily want the world to know about. But I think, transparency in when you're talking to a person, being as open and transparent as possible, and not trying to pretend to be somebody you aren't.
I consciously choose the name of the show, Success Signature, and visions are very important for us, as they lead us for a direction. Could you share your vision for the future, your signature success, what it could be?
My vision is basically, as I've said, is that I learned through my personal experiences what makes my body the way it is, and the reality that is my life is I'm responsible for that. I create that. Yes, you may get in the car one morning and go out and have an accident and say, well, I didn't bring that on myself. But you don't know, sometimes your thoughts, the mood you're in, the emotional state you're in can lend itself and contribute to things that happen in our life. And if you look at things, and that's my thing, is joining the dots. If you can join the dots between how you feel and what happens in your life and say, well, because I felt like that happened and I did that and that was the result, and I don't like that result. So maybe I shouldn't do this and maybe I shouldn't feel like that. We have control. So how powerful is that? And for my future, I want to spread that knowledge and to say to people, it can be that easy by controlling your thoughts, but people have to be accountable and have to want to be responsible for their own lives, don't they? You can't blame the government or the weather or COVID or, all these different things. We have, we have the ability to have more control of our life than a lot of people do have. I think that's the problem, isn't it? A lot of people don't feel they have control of their life. And it's outside influences and situations that have kept them in lack and depravity. And I don't believe for 1 minute that anybody's God puts us on this planet to live in lack and depravity. I think there's abundance out there for all of us. We just haven't been taught how to attract it and how to have it in our lives. Some people know how to do it, and I've had it often. I just need to get better at it, and that's the message I want to give to people. We are far more empowered than we realize as humans.
Yes, it's true. Thank you. Let's have more power and dream bigger. Imagine that we both have magic sticks, and I wish already my one wish, and it's your turn. What would you love to wish for yourself?
What would I love to wish for myself? I every day I say I'm grateful for my health, even though some people would say my health is not 100%, but I'm good. I'm healthy. I can still function. I'm not in pain and things like that. So to be healthy, always to be healthy, because yes, you can just do so much more if you're healthy. And to keep doing what I'm doing. It's I don't believe in retirement. Why would you want to retire? I love the life I've created for myself, and if I can help others to have a better life, even if it's for a few days or a few months, I just want to share that message, empower people and say, you can do this, so let's do it.
Amazing. Okay, we wish for ourselves. It's turn for the others. Do you want to change something in the world? And if yes, what is that?
Change something in that, yeah. Oh wow, that's a really big ask. And I've been listening to a lot of programs and recordings and summits at the moment, and I think there is a change happening. It's very slow, and like all these things, there's change every day, but there's a bigger change going on. This COVID situation has, I think, opened up questions that people don't have answers to. And what's coming through is people who have been suppressed or quiet for decades and even centuries are now starting to open up and say, we need to go back to Mother Earth. We need to go back to our tribal origins and connect with each other. Nothing can be achieved through fighting and killing and murdering. And what's it all about? There's only one planet, and what does it matter where a boundary is? We all need to live on it. And I think world peace, yes, it's been out there for a long time, but you know what? That's a really big concept, world peace, with so many different cultures and mentalities and things like that. So it's a case of, for people to start the small steps. You come back and you start with the small step. And I think the small step is for people to try and be a better person. if we all, you know, the minute you're angry or you want to strike out, you stop and think, is this the way? Is there not another way I could be? Can I not approach this in a nicer, kinder, more useful way, rather than with anger and aggression and egos getting in the way? And I think this is the thing, is people stop looking outside for excuses and look inwards. And over I'm hearing this message. Maybe it's because it's what I believe, you know, we attract more of what we already believe. But every time now, it comes from within. We have to start by looking within ourselves and making ourselves a better person. And then you attract more people of that and more. And it's happening. It is happening. People are coming together in prayer and energy, you know, the power of 8, where people get together and focus on somebody and heal them or make it a better thing. It's happening, but it has to happen more. And it is slowly starting to happen. If humans don't kill themselves off first, I think it will happen. I think change is coming. And that, I think that if what I do is to help people be happier and healthier, will put them in a better mindset and frame of mind to be a better person in themselves. So that's my little sort of contribution to a bigger picture.
Thank you for doing that. If you have one piece of advice to give to all listeners, what it could be?
One piece of advice. You know, it can be so hard when you're not in a good place. But I think even if you're not in a good place, it's a case of if every day you can do just one good thing for yourself or for somebody else. It doesn't have to be a huge demonstration but just one small thing. If every day you did one small thing to improve your situation or to think better, even if it's not physical. You know, I think of all these refugees and people, and with winter and storms and things like that. And, you know, I do think of them and I'm grateful for what I have, but it's a case of what can be done for them. And again, it comes back to we're in control of our own lives. We have the ability, and it comes from our thoughts and our belief system. So if you can have a clean out of your negative thoughts and find something, and there is always something that you can improve on. And that's the message I would give is don't give up on yourself. I know sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to then be able to come back up and learn from what you experienced going down. But as I say, I don't believe that any God has put us on this planet to live in pain and deprivation. And I think it's up to us, to each individual, to make the effort to improve their life. And it is possible. I've seen it happen so many times. There's so many stories out there. And it is possible.
I'm saying to all that people are here and listening, connect to Suzanne and don't give up. Can you please share with us how the audience can reach out to you?
So I have my website, which is SuzanneEllison.coach, COACH. And actually on my website, you can get, there's a free download that they can get, which I use energy healing. And there's a PDF there where it shows them and it helps them to reduce their anxiety, because that's what, anxiety is a symptom of the kind of thoughts we have. So it's an energy healing technique, and there's a video that goes with it that explains it. They can also find me on Facebook. And I've got a Facebook group if they want to come and join it and get some more information and resources. And I'm on LinkedIn. And within there's actually I've started writing for some magazines, so I will start putting the links into articles and things like that have appeared in some of the magazines. So yes, as I say, my website is Suzanne Ellison, all one word, .coach. So they can find me. And if they want to book a call, the thing is, if you want to book a call and you want just advice, you know, sometimes just having a conversation will give people answers and join dots up that they didn't realize that they could sort out for themselves. So, you know, I think a lot of people go, oh, you know, I don't want to talk to the person. It's a little bit daunting, but you know what? Sometimes just a conversation can change a person's life and turn on a few light bulbs. And that's, you know, that in itself, I find so rewarding to be able to do that. So there's the opportunity to book a call as well on my website if they want to get in touch with me.
Thank you. Once again, thank you for being my guest and sharing your wisdom and experience with us. I'm appreciating it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, Suzanne. And yes, here's to a good change and better things coming in the world in the future.